Good evening, Jessica Harmson with ABC News. The state government is being accused of deliberately misleading foster carers. An ABC investigation has found financial support for foster carers and kinship carers, like funding for home and car upgrades, was secretly suspended last year and carers were never told. Labor says carers should feel ripped off and deceived. State political reporter Casey Briggs has this exclusive report.
Foster carers do a difficult but vital job looking after some of our most vulnerable children. To help the helpers, in some circumstances, the state's Child Protection Department had a policy to provide cash support to modify homes or pay for bigger cars.
We need to be supporting foster and kinship carers who are doing the hard yards on the ground and who are willing and able to care for our most vulnerable children.
In January, the ABC reported on a foster carer who had applied to build a $25,000 transportable room on her property so she could accommodate another child. It was knocked back, but the Child Protection Department said applications were still being assessed on a case-by-case basis. Through an FOI request, the ABC can now reveal the policy was in fact changed last September, with a directive issued to staff not to approve applications.
I think carers would rightly feel ripped off, and I think they would rightly feel that they'd been deceived.
The FOI documents also include emails and text messages about how to handle the ABC's questions, with one departmental media advisor saying a directive had been made and she wouldn't feel comfortable saying otherwise. A ministerial media advisor said in a text, "We don't need to answer each question literally."
Everything should be transparent, but to hide it behind the scenes and deny it in the way that they did, I think is really underhanded.
Child Protection Minister Rachel Sanderson refused an interview request, but the Premier says he stands by his minister.
This is an extraordinarily hard area of public policy, but I'm convinced that we are making the right decisions, putting the children, the most vulnerable young children in South Australia first.
Child Protection is now proposing a new policy, putting a $20,000 cap on car and home upgrades in future.
This is another example of a potential hidden cut that we think is deeply problematic.
We know that it costs more than $500,000 to have a child in residential care. It makes zero sense for us to penny pinch and not give family-based carers the support they need.
The Child Protection Department took around 100 days to respond to the FOI application. That's more than triple the 30-day deadline. Casey Briggs, ABC News, Adelaide.